It's been a while. You know, before we get to this WWE Raw review, I, Xhaoz, your XWF champion, founder of Xhaoz Wrestling Federation, Xhaoz Wrestling on YouTube. I want to go back for a second. And it's kind of funny because it's like the last 2 days of Black History Month. And I'm actually going to say this discussion I had with another black wrestling fan on Twitter a while back about wrestling podcasters. Like, okay, I used to listen to the Solid Monster. I used to listen to Don Tony and them, but I didn't really follow podcasters until one night after the Royal Rumble. I listened to this guy named Joe Cronin on YouTube. And he was a pretty cool radio personality. He was just starting out. He just started his podcast not too long ago. And it was engaging. It was entertaining. Something in my eye. Maybe it's a glare of the light. But he was entertaining. He was engaging. He was a fun guy to listen to and watch on YouTube. To the point where I became a fan. Like, I would watch his videos on my way to school, on my way to work, or whatever I was doing, just to get his take on wrestling. I respected his take as a wrestling fan, as a wrestling commentator, as a wrestling podcaster. Then I watched his channel grow. I watched when he worked with Dead on Dave and Tommy C. And then I saw when that imploded, all the way up to when he started working with this guy named JD from New York. Now, I'm going to get to JD in a minute. That's a whole different story. But Joe, I somewhat idolized him as a podcaster, and he was one of the reasons that I decided I wanted to do my podcast channel, my podcast show, my wrestling thing. I was doing the whole backyard wrestling thing and all that beforehand, but I decided I wanted to do podcasting because I saw how much fun he seemed to have with his show. And then everything changed. I don't know if it's because he started getting sponsors or if he started feeling himself or whatever it was, but personally, from my opinion, from other people's opinions, he sold out the fans that he had at first that helped him get to the level where he was at when he started getting these sponsors and started getting well known and started hanging out with JD. And after him and Dave stopped working together and everybody else stopped working with him. And it comes to a conclusion that you got to say to yourself, if so many people are getting into conflict with you, maybe you're the problem. So maybe he was the problem with those situations and those issues. However, from a fan standpoint, somebody that you idolize, somebody that you see as a reason for you to do the things that you do, they got you started on the podcast and things that you started doing. If that person starts acting completely different, it makes you feel betrayed. And I'm not the type of person to address an issue at face value at times because I don't really necessarily like conflict. But I'm also a grown-ass man. You're interrupting a podcast right now, so I will talk to you after I'm done. No, I did not. I'm hanging out. Anyway, so as I was saying, when you see something like that, you feel betrayed. And as a podcaster who's looking up to all these other people, it's just unnerving, and it makes you not want to do it anymore. And I didn't do podcasts for a while. Like I had my co-host Stefan, which I'm sure you guys who view my channel, you guys have seen that. Me and Stefan, we worked well together. But he went to go do his thing in the military, so I was basically back on my own. And I just didn't have the passion for it. Because when you're doing this to entertain the masses. You got to enjoy what you're doing. And I just I didn't enjoy it anymore. It just didn't have that same enjoyment that I did when I would watch the Joe Cronin show and when I would do my podcast with Stefan or our other co-hosts. And it just didn't have that same feeling anymore. But see, like I said, I'm a grown-ass man. So even though I don't like conflict, I'm not going to take disrespect either. Which brings me to JD from New York. Another person who, without his fans, he would be nowhere. Which he likes to say a lot on his videos these days. However, he also likes to block people and ridicule people who don't share the same opinion as him. Now, here's the thing about wrestling and wrestling fans. The fact that people have different opinions about wrestling is what makes wrestling so great. You have your favorite wrestler. You have your least favorite wrestler. You have who's your favorite heel, who's your least favorite heel, who's your favorite face. Everybody hates John Cena. That's just a given. But that's how you bond as a wrestling community. And for you to feel that it's okay for you to ridicule anybody who's a wrestling fan for whatever opinion they have and block them when they're the ones that are putting money in your pocket, that is wrong. That is downright wrong. Now, there was a situation between Ryback and Joe Cronin where Joe Cronin decided to do a video parodying Ryback, saying it was him. And I tagged Ryback in it. I knew it wasn't him. But, hey, podcasters be podcasters. I knew it wasn't Ryback, but I tagged him in it because I feel like Ryback should have seen it. It wasn't fair for him to not see it, especially after it turned out that Joe Cronin was spreading propaganda about Ryback without knowing the true story of said situation. And Ryback's a good guy. He doesn't deserve half the stuff that he's burdened with while he's trying to better himself and better other people. To which Joe Cronin thought it was okay to call me a dumbass. That's where he crossed the line. So now I'm back. Started my podcast back up. When Stefan returns, he'll probably be a co-host, but he's busy with his military duties and his life, which is understandable. Everybody grows up. Everybody has their things to do in their lives. I have my things to do in my lives. I just started a new relationship. I'm trying to start some more job opportunities as long as with my other companies like Xhaoz Films and Xhaoz Records, where I'm trying to promote stuff like that. So I've been busy a lot as well. However, I had to come back. It was no longer whether or not it was fun or not. It's my duty now to come back and watch wrestling and review for you guys and have that persona of the XWF champion Xhaoz. And on top of that, start my official wrestling federation battles for the title. Which brings me to the closing of this and the announcement for XWF. And a promise that I give to you guys. If Xhaoz Wrestling ever gets to the level of sponsors and everything, I'm not going to forget about the few people who do subscribe to me and supported me. I'm not going to change up. If it turns out that, hey, I'm not going to get that many subscribers or I'm not going to get that much money from sponsors, so be it. This is a hobby for me. I understand people make it a career, but my main career thing is my video production. This is just a hobby. This is just something I like doing, something I love doing. So, with that being said, that's all I have to say about the conflict. I feel betrayed by JD from New York. I feel betrayed by Joe Cronin and how he acts these days. But some people change. Some people feel that they have to act that certain way. So, hey. Which brings me to this. XWF. Now, those guys who have subscribed to me from the beginning, y'all remember, you can see in my picture currently, it'll probably be changed within the next few days to a week. But you can see me holding that spinning WWE Championship title. You know, the John Cena spinning belt that The Rock hated so much. You can see me holding that title. That used to be the XWF Championship. However, that title got repossessed back to its original owner. And due to the fact that I may possibly be interviewing Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass, on Friday, and I'll be posted up on Xhaoz Wrestling if that falls through. As XWF champion, I have to have a title, right? So without further ado, I present to you the official inaugural XWF Championship. This title will be defended in Extreme Rules only matches. Hardcore rules only. The X doesn't only stand for chaos. It stands for extreme. We're going to go crazy. We're going to fight. We're going to battle. We are going to put XWF on the map. My first match will be in the coming weeks to months against an opponent that will be announced at a later date. And no, it will not be the small show. This title will be held in prestige. This title right here. This title. XWF right here. This is the new XWF Heavyweight Championship. And it will be treated with the utmost respect. Now, without further ado, I know you motherfuckers missed me. And I didn't really pay that much attention to Raw. But I have my notes right here on my Xhaoz Phone 7, so I could just look up certain elements. I'm going to talk about what I did. See, and then I'm going to put in my notes. You know how I do. You know how this goes. It's been a while, but you know how this goes. So, to bring in some nostalgia, it's Xhaoz, your XWF champion, and I'm here for your WWE results and review. We start off with Goldberg, who's really getting boring the more that he shows up. He looks like a fitness dad, talking about how he's going to make a promise, or he's made a promise that he's going to be the Universal Champion. Ooh, look at my belt spin. This is bad for somebody who might have borderline ADHD. Anyway, he's talking about how he's going to beat Kevin Owens. He made a promise. Kevin Owens comes out and says that the Goldberg chance will die at Fastlane. Honestly, they should have died back in 2000. That's just my opinion. The New Day comes out and starts touting their ice cream as usual. And they end up being confronted by the Shining Stars, who thought they were going to be facing the New Day, but it turns out they're facing the Big Show later that night. And Handsome Rusev and Hard Body Mahal, I don't know what the hell they came up with that shit, end up facing the New Day. Obviously, they lose due to Lana fucking up. And then Jinder and Rusev have an argument in the ring after the New Day. Oh, God. Yeah, I bet y'all missed my yawns. After the New Day successfully win, they don't retain nothing because they lost their titles. There was also a match. Let's see. Let's go through my notes. Oh, there was a match after that with the Cruiserweights. Yeah, it was. And the next match was the Cruiserweights. And also, it was set up for Cesaro and Samoa Joe later on to face each other in a match. Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley are still having more attention. And Stephanie McMahon is basically pulling the balls off Foley, to which Foley grew his balls back in like extreme fashion later that night during the contract signing. Anyway, the Cruiserweight match was Akira Tozawa versus Noam Dar. And speaking of Cruiserweights, apparently Austin Aries is going to be on the Cruiserweight scene or whatever, which kind of expected. He was Mr. X Division in TNA. Akira Tozawa wins his match, though. Then it's Charlotte and supposedly Dana versus Sasha Banks and Bayley, but it turned out to be Nia Jax as her partner. And Nia Jax beat the shit out of both of them. 1, 2, 3, ding, ding, ding. After that, it was Luke Gallows versus Big Cass. Big Cass wins. Tyson Hill versus Sheamus. This is kind of sad. It's really sad they had a black guy lose a match against an extremely pale white dude basically a day and a half before Black History Month was over. That's kind of fucked up. Let's see. So Seth Rollins comes out to a bunch of CM Punk chants while he's talking. Then Triple H comes out, and you basically know how this is going to happen. Seth Rollins going to act like he can't fight. And then, oh, gosh, there was a fly. There was a fly doing it here. But Seth Rollins is saying that he will be at WrestleMania. He's going to call out Triple H. I'm surprised they didn't beat the shit out of him there. But then again, you know, they don't want to mess up his knee anymore because his knee is like as flimsy as a fucking gay guy's arm. Don't you say it. This is X-rated, you son of a bitch. I can say whatever I want. Warrior! Nah, let me stop. Anyway, so yeah, I'm surprised they didn't beat the shit out of him. They don't want his leg to snap like a fucking toothpick, so they just walked out the ring after that. Let's see. Big Show versus Shining Stars. Y'all know how this ended. They had to boost up his momentum for Shaq. Let's see. Jack Gallagher and TJ Perkins versus Neville with Tony Nese. Jack Gallagher puts a submission on Tony Nese. Tony Nese taps out, and that's it in the match. Joe versus Cesaro. Cesaro loses after getting injured by his leg. Joe hits the Uranagi for the win, which is basically a rock bottom. Sami Zayn comes out, and they get into a brawl. Then after that, there's a contract signing. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman get into a big-ass fight. And then, oh my God, Braun Strowman throws Roman Reigns chest first into the turnbuckle, and that shit exploded. Fly hit me in my nose. Anyway, I'm trying to blow through this fast because I actually have something to do after this. Plus, I got to get up early for class. I will be back on Wednesday. I wasted a lot of time. Oh gosh, this flies in. It's a tiny ass fruit fly. I will be back on Wednesday for SmackDown because I have late classes on Tuesdays. So I'll be back Wednesday for SmackDown to talk about SmackDown. And then might even do a comparison, honestly. I'll also be live doing a reaction for Sunday's Fastlane. Might have to set up another WWE Network account for that. But I will be live for that immediately after Fastlane. I'll have everything set up. And hopefully I will build back my fan base so you guys can get some quality content from a non-sellout. No shade. Actually, it's all shade. Fuck you, JD, and Joe Curtin. I'm disappointed in you. But this is your XWF champion. Stay tuned for interviews and all that good stuff. I also emailed Ryback. I don't know if I'm going to get a response back, but he usually responds back to his fans. So even if he denies an interview, it would still be awesome sauce if he responded back, and I'll be happy as a faggot in church. Wait, no, a faggot would be happy in church. Don't mind me. I'm just happy to be back. Look at my title. It spins. All right, guys. I'll see you later.